Hey everyone, and welcome back. Last time, we left the Fellowship of the Ring shattered. Boromir was gone, Merry and Pippin were captured by ORCs, Frodo and Sam were heading to Mordor alone, and Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli were left to pick up the pieces. Today, we're diving into the incredible second book, The Two Towers, which splits our heroes' journeys into two distinct, epic paths. Let's start with Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. Their story begins with a desperate chase across the plains of Rohan. They are tracking the Uruk-hai who have taken Merry and Pippin. For days they run, fueled by hope and determination, a testament to their incredible endurance. Aragorn's tracking skills are on full display, reading signs that others would miss. They learn from a group of riders, the Rohirrim led by Omer, that the ORCs were wiped out. This news is devastating, as they fear their hobbit friends are lost. But Aragorn finds small tracks leading away from the battle site, a tiny clue that reignites their hope and leads them into the ancient, mysterious Fangorn forest. Inside Fangorn, the air is thick with age and secrets. The trees seem to watch them. It's here they have one of the most shocking reunions in the entire saga. They meet an old man in a white robe, whom they initially mistake for the treacherous wizard Saruman. But after a tense confrontation, the figure reveals himself. It's not Saruman, and it's not the Gandalf the Grey they last saw falling into shadow in Moria. This is Gandalf the White, returned from death, now more powerful and radiant than before. His return is a massive turning point, bringing new hope and a renewed sense of purpose. Gandalf explains what happened after his battle with the Balrog and fills them in on the bigger picture. He tells them Merry and Pippin are safe with the Ents, the ancient tree shepherds of Fangorn. With that worry settled, he directs their attention to the urgent threat facing the kingdom of Rohan. Saruman, from his fortress of Isengard, is preparing to unleash his massive Uruk-hai army to crush the world of men. Their new mission is clear. They must ride to Edoras, the capital of Rohan, and warn King Théoden. When they arrive at Meduseld, the Golden Hall of Edoras, they find a kingdom in decay. King Théoden is a broken man, hunched and frail, his mind poisoned by the whispers of his manipulative advisor, Grima Wormtongue. Wormtongue is secretly a spy for Saruman, and he has used his influence to weaken the king and the entire realm. Gandalf wastes no time. In a powerful display of his renewed strength, he breaks Saruman's hold over Théoden, casting Wormtongue out and restoring the king's mind and spirit. Théoden stands tall once more, his will his own again. Rejuvenated, he decides to lead his people not into hiding, but to the ancient fortress of Helm's Deep, to make a stand against Saruman's overwhelming forces. And what a stand it is! The Battle of Helm's Deep is one of the most iconic moments in the series. The fortress is a formidable stronghold, but they are hopelessly outnumbered. As the rain pours down, 10,000 Uruk-hai lay siege to the Hornburg. The fighting is brutal and desperate. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli fight with legendary skill, but the sheer number of enemies is overwhelming. The Uruk-hai breach the outer wall with a massive explosive, and it seems like all is lost. But just as despair sets in, as Théoden prepares for a final, hopeless charge at dawn, Gandalf returns. He arrives on a hilltop with Omer and 1,000 Rohirrim, charging down into the fray like a cleansing storm. At the same time, the mysterious, walking forest of Huorns, sent by the Ents, arrives and traps the fleeing ORCs, ensuring none escape. The victory at Helm's Deep is a hard-won, crucial triumph, buying the Free People's precious time. Now, let's switch perspectives and follow the journey of the other two members of the Fellowship, the captured hobbits, Merry and Pippin. We last saw them being carried off by Saruman's Uruk-hai. Their journey is miserable, but their hobbit resilience shines through. During a skirmish between their captors and the Rohirrim, they manage to escape into the dark and imposing Fangorn forest. It's here they meet one of the most wonderful and strange characters in Middle-earth, Treebird, the ancient Ent. He's a walking, talking tree shepherd, slow to anger but immensely powerful. Initially, he's just curious about these small halflings, but Merry and Pippin's stories of Saruman's treachery and the destruction he's causing awaken a long-dormant fury in the Ents. The hobbit's presence acts as a catalyst. After a long meeting called an Ent Moot, the slow, deliberate Ents finally decide to act. They march on Isengard, a walking forest of righteous anger. This isn't a battle of swords and shields. It's a force of nature unleashed. The Ents tear down the stone walls of Isengard, break Saruman's dams to flood the industrial wasteland he created, and trap the wizard in his own tower, the Tower of Orthanc. Merry and Pippin, sitting atop the rubble and smoking pipeweed, get to witness the complete and utter downfall of Saruman's fortress. It's a stunning victory achieved not by warriors, but by the very forest Saruman sought to destroy. Now, we turn to the heart of the story, the most perilous journey of all, Frodo and Sam's trek to Mordor. After leaving the Fellowship, they struggle through the desolate, rocky landscape of the Emyn Muil. They soon realize they are being followed. The creature stalking them is Gollum, the wretched being who once owned the ring and is still desperately obsessed with it. After a tense confrontation, they manage to capture him. Frodo, showing a profound sense of pity, spares Gollum's life. He makes Gollum swear an oath on the ring itself to serve him, the new ring bearer, and guide them to Mordor. Sam is deeply mistrustful of Gollum, and rightly so. But Frodo's compassion is a powerful, if risky, choice. Gollum leads them out of the rocky maze and south, toward the Dead Marshes. This is a haunting, ghostly landscape filled with the spectral faces of fallen warriors from a long-ago battle, visible just beneath the water's surface. It's a chilling and dangerous path, but with Gollum's guidance, they make it through. Their journey eventually brings them to the Black Gate of Mordor. It's an imposing, terrifying sight, teeming with ORCs and seemingly impenetrable. It becomes clear that a direct approach is suicide. Gollum, perhaps genuinely trying to help or perhaps already plotting, reveals there is another way in, a secret, unguarded path. He offers to lead them to this hidden entrance. This secret path takes them into the land of Ithilien, a surprisingly beautiful and green region on the borders of Mordor's shadow. Here, they have a fateful encounter with a group of rangers of Gondor led by a man named Faramir. Faramir is Boromir's younger brother, but he is a very different man. He's wise, thoughtful, and less susceptible to the ring's temptation. He captures Frodo and Sam, and upon learning they carry the One Ring, faces the same test his brother failed. But unlike Boromir, Faramir shows his quality. He understands the danger of the ring and chooses to resist its call, allowing Frodo and Sam to continue their quest. It's a moment of quiet, profound strength that stands in stark contrast to Boromir's tragic fall. But Faramir warns them that the path Gollum is leading them to, Cirith Ungol, is a place of ancient evil. His warning proves to be prophetic. As they approach the pass, Gollum's darker nature, his Smeagol side losing the battle against the treacherous Gollum personality, takes full control. He hasn't been leading them to a safe passage. He's been leading them into a trap. The secret path leads directly to the lair of a monstrous, ancient spider, Shelob. Gollum's plan is to let Shelob kill Frodo, and then he can take the ring from the hobbit's remains. In the suffocating darkness of Shelob's tunnels, the monstrous spider attacks. Frodo bravely tries to fight her off using the Phial of Galadriel and his sword, Sting, but he is ultimately caught and stung, falling as if dead. It's a moment of absolute despair, but Samwise Gamgee, the loyal gardener who has been by Frodo's side through everything, has his heroic moment. Overcoming his own terror, he picks up Sting and fights the ancient horror with ferocious courage, wounding Shelob and driving her back into her lair. Believing Frodo is dead, a heartbroken Sam makes the difficult decision to take the ring himself, intending to finish the quest alone. But just as he's about to leave, a group of ORCs from the Tower of Cirith Ungol find Frodo's body. Listening to their conversation, Sam learns the devastating truth. Frodo isn't dead, only paralyzed by the spider's venom. The ORCs take Frodo's body into their tower, and the book ends with Sam, now a temporary ring bearer, faced with the impossible task of rescuing Frodo from a fortress full of enemies, deep in the land of Mordor. And that's where The Two Towers leaves us, on two massive cliffhangers. The forces of good have won a crucial battle at Helm's Deep, but the full might of Sauron is about to be unleashed upon Gondor. And Frodo is captured, with only the brave Sam Gamgee standing between him and certain doom. We'll have to wait for the return of the king to see how it all concludes. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this summary. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into our favorite stories. See you next time.